Hello everybody, this is Adam here at A Strings, and today we are going to have a very informal and fun conversation. I just want to introduce you to Franco from Godin Canada and James from Godin UK. First of all, thank you for coming over and visiting us in Wales, in the UK.
Yeah.
How has your trip been so far?
It's been great. Yeah, I've been in the UK since the weekend, but I've actually been here in Europe since Music Mess, which was is it 2 weeks ago? Almost 2 weeks ago.
Come out to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been great. I come to Europe a lot. I take care of sales for the Godin company, for the Godin family in Europe. So I'm out here a few times a year, and we always try to visit as many dealers as we can. And obviously spend some time with our distributors as 440. So it's good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no, honestly, the pleasure is ours. So, there's a few things, well, there's lots we could sit here for hours and talk.
That is true.
We're really good. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a few sort of things that I want to talk about. First of all, off the back of Frankfurt, there was a couple of announcements.
Yeah.
Now, I've spotted a new multi-act.
Yeah, right.
And obviously we've got all the new electrics for the fit out
Yeah.
new lines and things like that. So, what is new, what is coming up this year for Godin and the sister companies?
Okay. I'll start.
You go.
You can
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Well, Music Mess was 2 weeks ago. NAMM was just a few short months ago. And therein is another story, of course, in its own. But we do spend most of the year, once we work on new guitars and we have new ideas, there's a design development team that goes to work immediately after the trade shows, thinking about what's coming up next year. But this year we're actually happy to expand. There's a few areas actually, but we're happy to expand on the Godin electric side. We're selling more and more electric guitars, which is cool because acoustic has been, good and interesting and still near and dear to us for a number of years, but electrics have really come on for the Godin Guitar Company, and we've picked up on that. And as always, and again, because reps and managers such as myself and James spend a lot of time talking to the dealers, we directly, we hear this is what people want, this is what we're looking at. So, our company, example, people want set necks from us, they want bolt-on necks from us, and we're open to both. So one of the new things we did this year is we worked a lot on our set neck guitars, our solid short scale set neck guitars, and we've got some interesting guitars in the I want to say €700 price points, but I know it's different in pounds.
Yeah. So the kind of under £700 price mark. Yeah, which is the Summit SGs, which you're going to be having.
Okay.
Yeah. So Summit SG for semi-gloss, and what it is basically a straight up rock and roll guitar, small price, made in Canada, of course. We've got humbucker pickups, and we've got another model with P90, one pickup in the neck position, one tone, one volume. It's
nice.
And since the NAMM show, we cannot keep up. We just started producing them, and we've got back orders already. So it's kind of exciting, and it's one of the directions we're heading.
What's really cool about that particular guitar, that P90, is that we've actually sort of retro. So if you want to retrofit basically a pickup into that, so you buy that guitar as a single P90 guitar, right? We've thought about the fact that the guy or the girl that has bought it is going to want to maybe update it with something else, maybe a single coil or a humbucker at some point during that guitar's lifetime.
Yeah.
So we've actually routed out the space underneath where that area is to house a humbucker or a single coil, and it's hidden obviously by the pickup.
Yeah.
And then we've actually the pickup selector pot sort of that's all underneath there as well. So it's set up for life. So if somebody's like, I really like the idea of this guitar, but maybe it's a little bit too limiting. You can do that, and the guitar is sort of set up for you. And then we sell a pick guard actually that will go around it. So although at first it can look quite limiting, but it's got it's kind of future proof, I guess.
Nice. And so obviously we are, we're here in April now. When are we expecting these to be sort of in UK and in?
They're already in production, and the NAMM show is our debut, which is end of January. And what happens is a lot of dealers. I mean, NAMM show is still, I think, the major show, and so we get a lot of orders at or just after the NAMM show, and those guitars are being shipped as we speak. So late April, early May. But like I said, we have a lot of orders, so they're coming out of production. Like I said to James, you won't be seeing them as stock for a while because we're moving them out as we're making them. But the Summit SG series has definitely been the hit of the year in terms of Godin electric guitars, and I think it speaks to a couple of things, and one that there's more of an electric market than people realize, or that people are willing to admit, because there's a lot of rock players out there still looking for a budget electric guitar that sounds good, that plays well, and we've responded to that quite well, and we're just again changing the way we we're perceived, and that's another thing. And we will get into that a little bit later, but we're trying to build guitars for all kinds of players. We've got the 600-pound guitar. Up to the 2,000-pound guitar and everything in between. So,
and I think the thing is these days people are more open to look for things that are different. People are looking for alternatives to, whether it just be to open their musical palette or whatever. But that's kind of where we fit in, and we're quite happy being there. We've got this niche for ourselves as being the alternative thing, to not necessarily like mainstream, because we make 200,000 guitars a year. We're a big business. It's big, but we're quite happy kind of being there. But we're kind of growing within that role, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the alternative is expanding. Which is great.
Now, before we dive into the history of the brand, I just wanted to say there's a couple of new things as well in the acoustic lines.
Yeah.
So we've had the solid wood series from Seagull.
Yeah.
And we've had the new discrete designs from Art and Lutherie.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's sort of on the horizon, or are these two kind of the front runners for this year or this
for this year? Yeah, really. I mean, we're always looking to, like Franco said, we listen to the feedback that we get. We're always improving. Like, how can we do this better? How can we do that better?
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of built into the ethos of the company. Is like, let's be better. It's not like, oh, that's fine, that'll do. So we updated our S6 this year. So our S6 is I kind of jokingly refer to it, I shouldn't mention other brands, but it's kind of our Strat. It's kind of like that's what we're quite famous for having.
It's our flagship acoustic
It's our
guitar.
flagship acoustic guitar.
Absolutely it is.
But there's no reason why it shouldn't change, albeit subtly. So we've kind of updated the finish a little bit and made it just a little bit more current, a little bit cooler, and and that's quite a brave thing to do when you sort of take,
that's the word, brave.
Yeah.
To take your best seller
and
fiddle with it and say.
Is that based on feedback then, or is it? Are you looking sort of internally and saying, well, we could have done this with hindsight?
It's got, I would say, a mixture of
both.
Because you can't. It would be arrogant to not listen to anything.
Yeah, thank you.
This is how we do it, and this is this is what it is. That's the spec. That's it. So we've always got our ear to the ground. And
isn't what they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and again, expecting different results. And the same thing with us. We make a perfectly great guitar, sells well, our bestseller, sounds great. Why change it? To make it better. To make it more interesting, because maybe somebody who has not yet bought an S6 just because it wasn't their thing, it will be their thing now. Or maybe someone that's had the same S6 for a while and loved it, and they just want another guitar. I mean, God knows, I don't know many people that have one guitar, and that kind of fits in with the way we see it. We've never said we want to be your first guitar, but we can be, and we can absolutely be your 10th guitar as well, or your 4th, 5th, and 6th. So updating the Seagull was a little bit of people saying, well, it's time to freshen it up a little bit. And also, it ties into the new direction of the company, which is definitely something we could talk about, which is Robert's sons, Simon and Patrick Godin, taking the company into a new direction, or same direction but with updated ideology, because they're just younger men, and they're their own men, of course. And Simon particularly is mid-30s. He's got some great ideas about what things should look like, what the image of the company should be, and updating the S6 is definitely part of that. So we're pretty excited.
And I was just going to say the Art Lutherie was Simon's brainchild, doing with the new finishes and stuff like that. We can get onto that a bit later.